Hello, welcome to How to Sell on Amazon.com without going broke. In this video, I am going to share with you a little bit of my journey selling food product on Amazon. It's not one of those exciting and fancy stories that you've heard about getting rich quick on Amazon. Instead, it's probably a very long road to making profits, seeing sales growth, and all that kind of thing. So if this is what you're looking for, stay tuned, and I'll be as honest as I can. How do you grow your business on Amazon.com? Well, there's several steps to do that, and I am gonna do my best to do it in um, 6 steps um, of my experience. And then the seventh step is really you going out there and doing it, because that's very important. Hearing me is not going to get you the kind of growth that you want for your business. Going out there and implementing some or most of the things that I'm sharing with you is what's going to make the difference. Step one, set up an Amazon account on sellercentral.com. I highly suggest that you sign up for the professional account. Don't think twice about spending that $39.99. Just do it. The process is fairly simple. You go on sellercentral.amazon.com and you sign up. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and you fill all the questions. You got to make sure you have some good information there. No fake address or anything like that, because Amazon do verify your identity, and also where you're doing business. So it's something, I don't know if it's new, but they just verified my address recently, and I thought that was good. Step two, understand your product. Check sales of similar product. One suggestion that I recommend to clients, friends, family, and I also do it myself, when I want to develop a new product or when I want to sell a new product, I go on the search box on Amazon and I type in a keyword and see what comes up. And this is not the best way to do market research, but it's a way, and it's totally free. So you get a good feel for what's out there, the market leaders, and most important, you want to make sure you read some of the reviews and see what people are saying about the product that they've consumed. And a good rule of thumb is to be able to serve people who are dissatisfied with the current leading brand. Sometimes it's very difficult to do, but sometimes there's a good amount of space available where you can serve potential customers. And so the product I'm going to talk a lot about here is the Monite Épices. It's not a very popular product because it's a spice blend that contain authentic recipe from Haiti, and not a lot of people know about Haitian food and Haitian cuisine. So I did have to make sure I knew what was already available on the site and all they were doing and all that kind of good stuff. So my product is very, very niche specific, and with going through the entire process, I was able to, to sell on Amazon, not just this product, but once you learn the rope, you can apply them to so many other things. And I've learned a lot of things about Amazon.com, selling this product. Next, there are great resources out there, and I am not sponsoring any one of them, and I don't even want to say which one is my favorite of those three that I'm going to mention. Um, so the Amaze Owl, Jungle Scout, and Helium 10, and those three apps, or you can also use their website. They have a lot of market research tool available. Basically, once you sign up for one of these apps, you will have access to a lot of data about products that are being sold on Amazon. They can tell you the rankings, the price, how much product is being sold every month. There's a lot of great information that you can get from this app. And again, you don't want to go blindly into selling a product if you don't know who's out there, and or to prepare for winning in this market. So I highly recommend that you spend time on some of these sites. Next is our old and proven market research strategies, that the way people used to do it before, and I do recommend it still. Sometimes it can cost a lot of money to get some data from some of those market research firm, but if you can't, what I strongly suggest is to do your due diligence. If you're selling a food product, go to different supermarkets and see where your product will fit in that supermarket. If you're selling a non-food item, go to where you think your product will be sold and see what's out there. I mean, you need every single tool out there before you can confidently sell your product for it to be successful. So don't neglect market research. The computer is going to be your best friend, meaning the internet. You'll be able to search online as well, get some good old data that is available publicly on the category of product that you're trying to sell, and once you get all those information, you'll get if you start with the free information you get on Amazon, you go onto one of those apps, you do your traditional market research, and you combine all of them into some nice graph or some nice report. You will get a pretty good idea of what you're selling, and how you should be selling it, and to who you should sell it to. Now, again, there are ways, if you don't have time or if you're not super familiar with this process, you can go on site like Fiverr.com and ask someone to do it for you. I will not recommend that, but again, it's definitely better to have someone else do something for you than not having anything. Okay, so we're moving on to the next step. Okay, in step 3, I recommend that you set up your account. Sign up and registering is just one part, but setting up your account with the product that you're going to sell, you need to carefully choose your title, the product description. You need to use great pictures, and you need to understand your pricing strategy. I mean, pricing is very important. It can make or break your venture. The title. Don't neglect a title. A good title. A very good title. There are help, there's a lot of help out there to help you with title, if you can't come up with one by yourself. But before you do that, I want you to be able to understand what you're trying to sell, who you're selling it to. Put yourself in the shoes of your customers so you can think about what they're gonna need to put in the search box on Amazon in order to get your product up. So for me, for this Haitian style spice, I it's not very popular in the U.S. I mean, in Haitian household, every single household in Haiti, or even the Haitian American population here, they will make a version of this spice blend at home. It takes a long time, and that's why having the product that I'm selling is very convenient. It takes a long time, but they're very familiar with it. The name that they use is APIS, but because it's, sometimes people want to translate a word. Often we have people calling it Haitian style sofrito, and and I thought I had to use those keywords because that's how people know the product. If I just leave it at spicy meat and seafood seasoning, I am gonna be in for a big fight with some of the big spice company that are out there, because some of those keywords, I mean, they dominate them, and there's no way, even if I was super lucky, that my product will ever make it to the first page using like a keywords like seasoning or spice blend. But if I search for épices or Haitian style sofrito, the product will come up, because not only my target market knows that's what they need to use to search it, but also it puts the product in a very small category, where we get to be, a small a small fish in a big pond, but we can still rise up. Next, you want to make sure you have a great product description. Online selling is super cool. However, some of the things we've lost by selling product online is the ability for the customer to be able to touch your product, read what's on it, turn it around. You don't have all those luxury. So you're going from having a 3D kind of product in the hand of your customers, to having like a screen with simple words and images. So that's why in your product description, you have to be able to put all the good features about your product, so that when someone reads it, they will quickly know what it's all about. And in my example here, I had to make sure people know it's a Haitian style seasoning blend. I had to make sure I tell them what's in it, what they can do with it, and the ingredients. I mean, you don't want to hide the ingredients, especially if you're selling a food product, because people want to know what's in there. They don't have the luxury of picking up the product and seeing it themselves, so they have to know what's in there. And then any other benefits or great features, you got to make sure you put them in the product description. Super important. Pictures. Pictures are one of those things we all think we can do. I mean, I did it. I have to admit that at the very beginning, I did my own pictures, took my phone, and it's definitely better to do that than not. And if you have like some great creative skills, I mean, you probably will have like amazing, fantastic pictures. There are a lot of great cell phone cameras out there, and there are also some apps you can use to help with lighting and um, and editing your pictures. I really did not have the patience for all that, and so I just hired a student, a photography student, because again, this product is not a high budget product. This is a product um, I'm I I'm expecting to sell at a profit, but it's not gonna be like a blockbuster until we make some considerable work to several other areas. So the budget was low, and I was able to find a student who had her own business and her price were reasonable, and she shoot a few nice picture for me, and I've been lucky enough to know about Canva.com, so I've used Canva at time, and some other time when I was super busy, I did outsource some of the graphic design, but you really want to make sure you have great pictures. Like I said, the customer doesn't have the luxury of touching your product and then turning it, so they can read what it's all about. Okay, now we move on to pricing strategy. When you're setting up your Amazon uh, account for a product, and you adding a product, you're gonna need to know what price you're gonna put in there, and pricing strategy, it is super important. You really want to make sure you know what all the numbers involved in making your product. A good rule of thumb based on several different type of product I've sold on Amazon, is to make sure you have about you know a buffer of 35%. Sometimes it can be 40%. I mean, I'm not kidding. Again, I want to be careful to say that my experience has only been in food product. I have rarely sold non-food item on Amazon. So you have to make sure you understand the price structure for the product that you are trying to sell. If you don't do that, you will be wasting money. Um, Everything costs money. Uh, you know, you got to make sure you take into account your packaging, or the product's gonna look, the cost of the raw material itself, your overhead, plus the 35% or so money that you're gonna pay to Amazon for different things. Amazon will tell you about marketing fees, referral fees. If you use FBA, which I strongly suggest at the end of this video, you're gonna have to worry about all those fees, and so you have to take all this into account and then see if there's enough money out there for you to make a profit, and for you to continue selling this product. Again, having a strategy is so important that I feel like you're gonna hear me saying it several different ways throughout this video. You cannot just blindly go with a product and sell it on Amazon. It will be a super and complete disaster. You want a strategy, whether it's written, whether it's in your head, and I prefer it to be written because, again, I don't know, depending on the age group you are, I mean, you may have a super sharp memory, but if you start having too many things going on at the same time, I do strongly suggest you put everything in writing, in your office or in some wall in your apartment. um, you can put your different goals, and different, what they call KPI, your key performance indicators. So at each step of the way, you know where you are, and then or hopefully you will see that line going up and up and up and up and up and up. Okay, next we move on to competitive strategies. Um, you have to understand that it is not a very easy thing to sell product on Amazon.com. I'll explain it later. You are definitely in a race. It's almost like it's a survival of the fittest. Whatever that could mean, it just it's just very, very tough. It's crowded, it's saturated, and not everybody's gonna make it to the top 200. So in order for you to move along the way, you have to have some strategies. I told you I will mention it more than once. Next step is step 4. You need to understand how Amazon move your products. If you don't, again, then that has to be part of your strategy. Either you should talk to people who know about Amazon.com, or you should hire someone to help you. But you have to understand rankings or categories affect what you're selling, and then the importance of having good reviews. Now, ranking is king on Amazon. It can make or break your product, and you don't want to neglect that area. You got to pull out the numbers that you can and try to design a strategy to get the best ranking possible. So I have an example for you. Same type of products that I'm selling. I think it's 2 different sizes. And so when I first put the product, so I have a new product, and I put it on, and then I think a week or so after it was up, the ranking was 472,676. You don't have to be good at math to know that this is a big number, and to conclude that there are 472,675 other products ahead of the one product I just listed. So when I say the competition is tough, it is tough. You got to climb up those rank in order for your product to start selling. Now, below is another product. Again, it's same type of product that I'm selling. Again, it was just different UPC number and different packaging. And when I first listed the product below, I did not record the ranking, but it was in the 400,000, if not 500,000, because I was like so shocked, and you get a little discouraged to see that you're so far behind. But little by little, with a few things that, and some of them I'm going to mention very soon, you can move up the ranking. Now, again, 120,000 is not a great ranking on Amazon by any means possible, but you still sell. I mean, we still get good steady sales, and we're not losing money. So, and those are great thing and great opportunities. And the very best thing I can say is that we continue to move up the ranking. To really make improvement to to our ranking. So remember, when your customer or your potential customer type in um, their product with the keyword that they use, a bunch of product comes up. And if you look at the fact that there could be 472,000 products that sort of related to this keyword, and for Amazon to put it in a page where people are going to see it, you have to be able to do some work, and your product has to be able to show that it's good, people like it, and and Amazon will use all that kind of data to help your product move a little higher up. And the more review, the more Amazon see that there are people looking and asking and providing good review about this product, the more Amazon will continue to move that product up the rank. So reviews are super, super, super important. Now, I said I was going to be honest. And part of being honest is saying the good and the bad. I've had great reviews, but I've also had bad one on the product. And then I kept asking myself, okay, what do you do about a bad review? Amazon doesn't let you remove the bad review, and in some cases you can reply to the customer. And what's most important to me, and I recommend it to anyone selling a product on Amazon, is to really always take time to read your reviews, because by reading your reviews you will understand what customers are saying about your product, and this is a great opportunity to improve on your product or on the product description. But then during my investigation I did find out that that person who wrote the bad review for my product is accustomed to writing bad reviews for so many other products. So you get a grudgy person out there, or maybe grudgy people out there, who will just write you a bad review. I mean, you can't satisfy those people probably. So there's not much you can do about that. But like I said, what you can do is to do your best to sell more, because the more you sell, the more you get, the more review you get. And then if you get and when you get high reviews, they averages with the bad reviews, and so that way you can get a decent rating. The other thing I mentioned is that you take those reviews and you try to understand them. And one thing I have to admit I didn't do at the very beginning was to tell everyone that my product was in a powdered form. And I think that hurts a lot, because people did not think they received the product that they've ordered, because traditionally this product is made with fresh herbs that are blended and put in a jar. But I didn't want to go through all the shelf life issues and all the breakage when you put things in a jar, and plastic doesn't keep the product well. So I didn't want to go through all that. The very simple thing, and because I've been using that product at home way before I was selling it, I just went for the powder form, because to me it's so much more convenient. All the product in my spice cabinet are in powder form, so I really didn't think twice about putting this product as a powder form. But again, some people were not expecting something in powder, even though the picture did show that it's a powder and it's written on the product itself that it's a powder. But I still blame myself for not putting it in the title, for not putting it like everywhere in the description. So by the time someone read the profile, they have a very clear idea of what this product is about, and they don't, and they won't buy it. And if they buy it, then they know that they got what they paid for. Um, so lesson learned. Next item is the Amazon Vine. Now, if you can't get reviews for some reason, because at the beginning you're not selling well, and for people to discover you, there has to be some reviews, and if there's no review, then you're not selling anything. So it just some sort of what comes first, and Amazon seems to have find a way to help sellers, and they have this program called Amazon Vine, and it's a program where they've selected some reviewers based on certain features, and when the seller sign up for Amazon Vine, the seller will send some product that Amazon will forward to those reviewers, and then the reviewers will comment on the product, and then it will be listed as a review. Now, I have to say it's a paid service. For 30 products, you get to pay about $200, and sometimes they have special promotions where they only allowed you to send 2 products in, and you don't have to pay. But I did participate in a special promotion in July, and I sent 2 products, and only 1 got reviewed. And so right now, based on my experience with Vine, you can kind of expect about 50% of the people who received your free product, about 50% of them will send a review. Now, what I like with the reviews from Vine, and I'm showing you an example here, where you have that person, reviewing the product. Those Vine reviewers, they are very good at describing something, so unlike your regular reviewers, or your the people who purchase your product, the Vine reviewers will spend time explaining and detailing what they've seen and their experience with the product. Your paid reviewers, sometimes they're in a rush, they're going, to their next event, and they're doing the reviews, and they give you a couple of words: nice product, bad product, I didn't like it, very short, emotional, and not objective kind of information. The Vine reviewers are very objective. They give you like good information, and and they give a rating as well. I mean, the product, I feel like once you work on a product a lot, and you know who you're selling it to, your product should not get a bad review, unless again you faced with some of those people out there who's always in a bad mood and will want to trash everything that's around them. Okay, we're moving on to the next step. Step 5, you need to make sure you carefully plan your marketing strategies. Amazon has a lot of tools that they're offering you, so take advantage of that. You got Amazon Ad, A plus content, and don't forget, the customers you're getting on Amazon are not customers. You got to make sure you build your own audience and your own customer list, so you can have the option of sending them to Amazon or sending them to your site. To be successful and enjoy market growth, you need to carefully plan your marketing strategy. I can't stress that enough. So here are some things you need to make sure you have in place. Make sure you build your audience. Social media is a great way to do that. Advertise, take care of your customers, enroll in Vine. We've already seen that. And sign up for A plus content. Now, an engaged audience is your bread and butter. Okay, you need to know your audience. You need to know who you're dealing with, and you need to figure out how you can engage with them. Once they are engaged, I mean, you will tell them to go to the store, to the Amazon store, and buy your product, and they will. Again, not everything works for everyone and at all time. So don't expect your entire audience to go up out there and buy your product, but a good portion will. And this is what you want. This is the type of connection you want in order to make your product grow on Amazon. I mean, again, you have the tools, so make them work for you. I mean, there's all the social media out there. Once you understand your audience, you will know which social media they hang out on, and that's where you want to be. You want to be where your people are. Advertising. Advertising, I have to say honestly, it can make or break your bank. And that's why you have to know your audience. You don't want to be advertising somewhere where your audience is not. This is completely and pure waste of money. Amazon does a great job to push certain features that they have in their advertising program. Uh, they'll send you emails saying, we've identified bid suggestions for your campaign that can help you win on ad placement. And so they will not give up on pushing their ad suggestion to you, and it's your role to figure out which one works best for you and which one doesn't. I mean, Amazon doesn't care if you spend all your money on ad. You should. So you need to understand all the different ad tools that Amazon has, and take advantage of any free webinars that they have as well, in order to learn more about how to advertise on Amazon. Because again, I can't stress that enough. You can go broke spending money and not getting one sales if you don't do things correctly. Or it could also feel like you sending money down the drain. A good advertising campaign will be targeted, and once you have all the right tools and information in place, you will hit your target over and over, and your business will grow. Amazon also has what they call an A plus content, and it's a feature that they have on the product page where you can add like a lot more information and a lot more pictures about your product. Remember, I mentioned earlier, because your customers are not in a brick and mortar place, they're shopping online, and they don't have the luxury of touching and feeling the product. So you have to use different images so you can tell them what the product is all about and how they should use it. And A plus content give you this great advantage over your competitors if you are able to communicate clearly. So benefits of A plus content, it definitely appeal to different shopping style. So some people like a lot of information, some people don't. But then if you offer a lot of information to people who like a lot of information, then you automatically gain another group of people to buy your product, and then it makes stronger impressions. I did think that I've seen a lot of growth after I've put my A plus content, but then again, I have to admit that I've done several other things as well. But when someone open up a page and see all those beautiful pictures, all those beautiful food, I do feel like they will enjoy the experience. Step 6, your journey has started. You need to continue adding more product on Amazon, more variation, and use FBA if at all possible. To me, Amazon FBA has been the key to why I can sell on Amazon, or I can sell online, period. Because right now Amazon has this multi-platform service where even if you're selling your product on other platform, they can ship it for you. So I thought that was such a great opportunity, to put my product on multiple platforms, and I can't stress the importance of Amazon FBA. Oh, there are other fulfillment center out there. So if you can find one, I think it's so much worth it. Just remember, those warehouses where they're doing the fulfillments, they have robots, they have like a sophisticated inventory system where they can place put your item, take it, ship it, pack it, all within the same day. If when Before I was doing FBA, I had to find time to go get the product where it's stored, pack it, and then ship it, and all that will have to happen at a time when I was free, which wasn't always the case. So in some instances, I've had to ship a product late, and that hurts your profile when you ship product late. So again, FBA is the key, or any sort of fulfillment center, you know, will help you. There's so many hats to wear during the launch of a product, that anytime I can outsource something, I do. Product variation, people expect to be able to choose between different products. They don't want just one product. So if you have launch with just one product, I strongly suggest that you add more to it. Okay, this is now step 7, where I send you out there to do your own thing. And I don't want you to think that this is it. Step 6 was just the beginning of the journey. So you got to continue on the journey. And part of the journey is going to be to learn how to find information by yourself, or pay someone to do it for you. But if you're on a tight budget, you want to take advantage of things like Amazon Seller University, or or the upcoming conference, which is in September, and it's called Amazon Accelerate. So I have the slides right. Okay, well, this is the end. Just want to say thank you.